going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Underestimated Podcast. It's your host, Jeremy. I'm back with another episode. Welcome to the first episode of 2024. I'm really excited for this year and what I have in mind and in store for this podcast. I really believe that this is the year, obviously with you guys' help, that this podcast can really take off. And I'm going to do the things on my end to make sure that is at least somewhat possible and a probability. Excuse me. So I want to say that firstly, I've said in past episodes that I want to incorporate more dimensions to this podcast. Part of that being interviews. So I have a list of people I want to get in for interviews. I want to start the actual videos this year. I don't want to continue to do this audio only thing. Y'all should only have to bear with this audio only for 2 more episodes. Episodes 24 and then 25. Once you get to 26, there should be no more audio only unless you are listening on Spotify. That is my goal. Hopefully that pans out to be successful. No matter how I have to get it done, I just have to get it done. So I have my first interview scheduled for next Friday. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm going to leave that all to be a surprise and maybe reveal it in the upcoming days. But that'll be my first interview. And it might be the first time that some of y'all get to see what I even look like. So, I know that everyone doesn't tune into the social medias that I have linked to the podcast. So that's what I want. I want to give this like a more personal feel, because this is the podcast. I want to give it a more personal feel to know who is the guy behind the mic. I know who the guy is behind the mic because it's me, but y'all don't necessarily know. Unless you are support that is, known me before this even had happened. So now I'm playing like a two-part game with the podcast. It's like I'm catching up, but also looking ahead to see what I have next in store. I say that because now I just have like thumbnails in my camera roll that I'm just trying to put videos towards now. With that being said, I dedicate this episode to Travis Hunter, Colorado Buffaloes star cornerback. Now, hold on. I made the thumbnail for this particular episode on September 2nd, 2023. And it came after, I always knew Travis Hunter was great. I always knew the dude was special. But it came from a certain game. I want to look back to see what game it was specifically because I can't think of it off the top of my head. Now, looking at the Colorado schedule from last year, this doesn't feel like it was the game. I mean, I know it had to be one of the first 3 because after that big hit he took against Colorado State, he was out for like close to a month. So I guess according to this the game against TCU that really pushed me to make this video or make this episode, but it didn't feel like the right game. But in that game, he had on the defensive end 1 interception, and then on the offensive end 11 receptions for 119 yards, averaging about 11 yards per reception, with his longest reception being 43 yards. And I was just watching him play both sides of the field is just simply special. And that's the title of this episode. Travis Hunter is special because he truly is. We have not seen an athlete play at such a supreme level on both ends of the ball since Travis Hunter. I'm sorry, now being Travis Hunter, but since Deion Sanders, his coach. And that's why I feel like it's perfect for him to be under Dion, because Dion understands what it takes to be able to play at such a high level on both ends of the ball. And the dude can lock up your best receiver and then give your best cornerback trouble on the other side of the ball at receiver. That is truly ridiculous. And it's not just that, the amount of snaps that he plays, he's basically in like 80% of the game. And that's ridiculous. That takes obviously he's young, but it takes an extreme amount of cardio and work to just stay in the game that long and play at his level. Like he's just out there to be a decoy or just out there as a body on the field. Like he's actually out there producing for that amount of time at his, at the high level that he does produce at. If anyone saw well, no, actually, I don't think I had him in there. But I definitely consider him as I don't know if he's going to win it because I don't know how many defensive players have won the Heisman in recent memory. But he's definitely a contender to win it next season, barring that he stays healthy. It's just such a joy and appreciation to watch Travis Hunter play the game of football. It's just mind blowing. And he blew my mind apparently in the TCU game because of just watching him. Is he like the stats aren't equating to what I was thinking in my head, but I guess it was just whatever he was doing play to play that was, impressing me. Because just looking at his stats, let's take a deeper dive in here. So his 2023 stats on the defensive side of the ball, he had 23 solo. Well, let me do it this way: 31 tackles in total, 23 tackles solo, 8 assisted, 3 interceptions, and 5 passes defended. I don't know why I can't get to his. I can't get to his. I'll figure it out. Okay, there we go. Just trying to get to his receiving stats. So he had 57 receptions for 721 yards, averaging 13 yards of reception, 5 touchdowns, and his longest reception being 47 yards. I truly believe had Trav played this entire season, there's no doubt in my mind, he would have gotten 1,000 yards. He played, maybe 8 games this year? Because that blow he took against Colorado State put him out, like I said, nearly a month. I'm trying to see how many games he played. Okay, so 1, 2. He played a total of 9 games. So that's what he did in 9 games. And there were Okay, there were 12 games. I'm sorry, that took me a while to get to that. They played 12 games total. He played 9 and did just that. One of them being 100%. I don't know if he really was 100% by the time he came back. But I think Dion, obviously prioritized that when he was away because he's a competitor and he wants to get out there and help his team, especially at the time he started. Like, literally, the time Trav got out, that's when Colorado season just went simply downhill. But now, looking at this new 12-game college football playoff format, I can see Colorado sneaking in there. I mean, now you put it from 4 to 12. Actually, when everyone was still healthy at the beginning of the year, I had them in the college football playoffs for this year, but obviously things didn't pan out that way whatsoever. But I think what they got in store coming next season is going to be great. So let's kind of like dive into the background of Travis Hunter. So just obviously he plays cornerback and wide receiver. So he'll be going into his junior year next year. 6'1", 185 out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Obviously, he started off at Jackson State. So in recent memory, just looking back at his career highlights and awards, he was second team All SWAC in 2022 and was second team All Pac-12 in 2023. SWAC Freshman of the Year in 2022, consensus All-American in 2023, and he won the Paul Hornung Award in 2023 as well. I think, let's see what that award is criteriaized to. So it is a college football award that was created. Okay, the mission of the award is to recognize and reward versatile high-level performers in major college football. And I mean, that's simply just Travis Hunter. Oh, it even has a eligibility criteria on here. Okay, so it says playing multiple positions on offense and or multiple positions on defense, playing a significant role on special teams, performing as a two-way player who starts either on offense or defense and is used on the other side of the ball in some capacity, making a significant impact during big games and elevating the team's performance through leadership displayed by excelling in multiple roles. If every word that I just read about that award does not define Travis Hunter to you, you don't know Travis Hunter. Because that dude, I mean, he's special. It's like there's no other word. You can say generational talent, whatever, but we have not seen this since Dion. We have not seen a guy go out on both sides of the field and play Travis Hunter since Deion Sanders, who is, there ain't really no debate to me personally, but I'm going to just go ahead and say it, the best cornerback to ever lace up the cleats. Which I mean, puts his ceiling very high. I mean, he's under Dion right now. What better pathway and blueprint to be like Dion can you get other than playing under Dion? I want to look and see how many snaps he played to just give an insight of like how much he's out there. So in week one, Travis Hunter played an absurd 152 snaps in Colorado's shocking 45-42 upset against TCU. 152 snaps. We're not talking about an overtime game where there are extended amount of snaps. We're talking about a game that ended in the fourth quarter in regulation. 152 snaps. And to break it down even further, he played 65 snaps on offense, 80 on defense, and 7 on special teams. I didn't even highlight the fact that he was on the special teams as well. I just put in my intake on him playing on offense and defense. The man does special teams too. He's literally out there for everything. And even if you watch his body language on the field, he doesn't even look tired. The guy is special. It's no way of getting around that. And I also said that that game against TCU, that was 87% of the team's plays. He was out there. 87. I said he played about 80. So, but yeah, he 87% of the team's plays. That's what he did. Against Nebraska, he played 140 snaps, 77 on offense, 63 on defense. This guy is just simply amazing, bro. It's just mind blowing. Like, if you don't have Travis Hunter as a serious consideration for Heisman next year, you need to see a medical professional, because that's ridiculous. I'm gonna throw Shedeur in there too. Actually, had Shedeur winning, believe it or not, the Heisman this year. But I think I made that after they were like 2-0 or 3-0. So that's when everything was kind of still, up and high for Colorado. Obviously that changed. I still, even as the season progressed, I still didn't think it was going to be Jaden Daniels. But after those last maybe 3 or 4 games of the college football season, I said he was going to get it. I think, well, if you want to go look at the episode, it's in there. I believe I had Shedeur, Arch Manning, which was kind of stupid because I don't think he even played this year. I was better off picking Quinn Ewers. I had Shedeur, Arch Manning, Spencer Rattler, Riley Leonard. I think that may have been it. Might have been one more person I threw in there. Oh, I think it might have been Caleb or Marvin Harrison. Maybe both. And I definitely think when he comes out and enters the draft, I'm not sure if that'll be next season or not. He's going to be top 10 for sure. Maybe top 5. Because it all depends on who comes out with him and then the order of the draft. I've been hearing some Green Bay Packers noise. That wouldn't be bad. That actually sounds scary. You got a secondary that includes Jair Alexander, a Pro Bowler, and you got Travis Hunter to that. It's going to also, if they choose to use him in that way, another receiver for Jordan Love. I mean, obviously, I think in the receiver core they're kind of weak as well. Christian Watson, and that's what I can think about. Christian Watson. Wow, I don't know another Packers receiver. Well, that should go to show you that they need receivers. that that wasn't enough right there. If you simply just go into breaking down Travis Hunter's game, I think that his best attributes that he possessed as a football player would include, his speed, his quickness, his agility, obviously the versatility with him to be literally out there for every team on the field, special teams, offense, defense. I mean, he's out there for it all. Subliminal playmaker, his ability to read the game, also he's reading both sides of the field. I can imagine his pre-game workload throughout the week in practice, because now I got to study the playbook, not just for offense but for defense as well, and that's incredible. Obviously his quick reflexes, his excellent ball skills. He had 5 picks this year. And, like I said, had he played longer or played more despite the injury, probably would have been more. I probably would have put him at maybe the 7, 8, 9 range, close to 10. And actually, is a pretty strong tackler with a exceptional great sense of timing. And they may not look like the strongest guy on the field, but I don't think you should want to take taking hits from Travis Hunter too lightly. He's a very strong tackler, despite his, non-appealing size on the field. I'm also under the impression that he's a great student. If you listen and talk on his little 12 talks, I guess it's considered a podcast. I think it's with Bleacher Report. I'm not mistaken. I've watched it a couple of times. He usually does it after every game that they've had this season. I haven't seen it since the season ended, of course. But he has a YouTube channel that I tune into. Obviously follow his socials. Excuse me. So y'all tell me what y'all would prefer when it comes to Travis Hunter. Would y'all prefer him be a receiver or a DB? Me personally, I know he can do both. I probably would prefer him at DB. Even though what he does at receiver is still, simply amazing. That takes a different skill set that has to be possessed to put those skills out on the different side of the ball. I just would rather have him, if I put him on my team, I'd rather have him at DB. I think if you just simply look at the way that the NFL, the direction that it's trending in, you would clearly see that the league is in depth or is in need of more cornerback depth than it is for wide receiver depth. The wide receivers are gonna come. They're gonna be there. The DBs, on the other hand, you gotta have somebody to defend these receivers. You know what I mean? So I would more so probably rather have him be a DB in the league as opposed to a wide receiver. But like I said, they so willingly choose to use him on both sides of the field. I have no problem with that at all. I know you can do both at a high level. I'm saying if whatever team decides to draft him subjects him to just one to just one position, I would prefer that be DB. But this is, one of my more freestyled out episodes. Don't have anything planned out to say. Just kind of going off, feelings and thoughts and prior knowledge and things I kind of did on the fly. So it's actually kind of short. It's only 25 minutes, but hey, it happens that way. Longer ones will be back soon. So like y'all have always been, since I started out. Bear with me. Always remember I'm doing this all by my own. I had no team, so not an excuse, just a fact. But all things considered, y'all continue to have a great Wednesday. I'll be back Friday for episode 25. Definitely tune in to 26 though. Tune in to 26 next Friday, because that's going to be probably my best episode yet, with the interview with special guests. Not putting that out just yet, but yeah, y'all just stay tuned. All love from me on my end. Always remember, don't underestimate, appreciate, and without further ado, I'm gone.